Hey cruisers, I'm Sherry with CruiseTipsTV.com, and today we have a little bit of news for you. A very important update from Carnival Cruise Line went out yesterday to travel advisors all over regarding shore excursions on Carnival Cruise Line for unvaccinated guests. Now previously, before this update was made, if you were an unvaccinated guest who had received an exemption to cruise with Carnival Cruise Line and you were over the age of 12 years old, you could only go ashore if you purchased a Carnival Shore Excursion. Now, if you were under 12 years of age, you had a little bit more flexibility, depending on the port, of course, and their rules and allowances. But for the most part, anyone who was over 12 and who was unvaccinated but received an exemption had to book a Carnival Shore Excursion. Now, that was probably a little bit of a pricey thing for a lot of people. And maybe some people just wanted to go do a simple beach day or walk around the port, and you were unvaccinated and you just couldn't do it. So this is exciting news and a step in the right direction for cruisers. Now, you're probably asking, is this one of those things where it's a next step to vaccines going away? And the truth is, I don't know. Nobody knows. Is this a step in the direction of pre-cruise testing going away? And the answer is, I don't know. Nobody knows. However, seems to me like we are moving in the right direction. All of these little changes that seem to be happening, they'll add up over time. I also heard this week that there's a cruise line in the UK that is piloting a couple of cruises where they're not doing pre-cruise COVID testing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, we want to hear from you down in the comments of this video. What do you think will go away first? Do you think the pre-cruise testing requirement will go away first? Do you think the vaccine requirement will go away first? Do you think that they'll never go away? Do you think they'll go away at the same time? And when do you think it will happen? I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are. Personally, I have no idea. I may be somewhat of a knowledgeable cruiser, but I'm certainly not a cruise expert and I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't answer that one. But I'm really curious to see what all of you think. And what do you think about this news? Now, this news impacts our family specifically because we have an unvaccinated child. So my husband and I, we're vaccinated and we're boosted, but our son is not. So on our last Carnival cruise, the only way for us to get off the ship was to book a Carnival-sponsored cruise excursion. And we did, and we had a wonderful time. We went horseback riding in Cabo San Lucas, and it was great. We felt really safe, and it was just absolutely awesome. So there's nothing wrong with that. But if I wanted to maybe spend a little bit less money just to get off the ship, it'd be really nice. Here's another thing that I thought about. When we got off the ship, and we did that shore excursion, we were told, hey, afterwards, if you want to hang around in the port area or eat, or just kind of chill and do what you want to do after the excursion, you're free to do that. That was kind of interesting. Why was I allowed to do what I wanted after the shore excursion, but not get off the ship at my leisure? I think we kind of saw this change coming, that maybe Carnival is trying to keep control of things, which made sense. It was probably a good business decision, keep people safe, but I think cruisers want to have that freedom back. It's a very interesting thing. Now, there's some exceptions to this new policy of Carnivals that are really important that we want to share with you. There are some places where unvaccinated guests cannot get off the ship, so I'm going to share those with you. Now, in San Juan, Bonaire, Grand Cayman, St. Kitts, and Tortola, if you're age 12 and older and unvaccinated, you must remain on board. In Grand Turk, if you're age 16 and older and unvaccinated, you must remain on board. And in Cartagena, Colombia, if you're age 18 and older and unvaccinated, you have to remain on board. There may also be other ports who will not allow unvaccinated travelers to go ashore at all. So that will be something that you'll have to read about in your cruise contract or when you're selecting a cruise. Now, if you're looking to cruise and you're unvaccinated, there are some options out there for you right now. Carnival Cruise Line has a very, very clear and smooth exemption process, and I believe that they allow about 10% of their cruise passengers to be unvaccinated. You do have to pay for your cruise in full before you can seek an exemption. We strongly recommend that you work with a travel agent to book any cruise, but if you're unvaccinated, you're probably going to need a little bit of extra help with that. So find a travel agent who's willing to book you if you are unvaccinated. we're going to list our partner travel advisor in the description of this video in case you want a little help. And in case you weren't aware, there are other cruise lines who do allow exemptions also. Princess Cruise Line is one example. Holland America now allows exemptions. Their processes are a little bit different than Carnival, but they do. Even Royal Caribbean allows some, but from what we heard, it's harder to get an exemption on Royal Caribbean because if you think about it, there's a lot more families with kids cruising and a lot more people probably seeking exemptions at this time of year, especially summertime. So it's a little harder. But with Carnival and with Princess, we've found it's actually possible. So don't give up hope if you're unvaccinated and looking for an exemption. We hope you enjoyed this quick little snippet of news today, and we also want to wish you a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and weigh in the comments. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas.